Well, hello everybody, welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Monday night, only here on Oldies and More Radio. I want to welcome you to the June 20th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show. It's the All 60's edition, also streaming live on YouTube. So if you want to check out the video, go to Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show on YouTube. You can get the visual on that. Some people have the visual on the video and also listen to Oldies and More Radio live, so you get the best of both worlds, but you can take your pick. Glad you can join Johnny G on this beautiful day today. Actually, the weather's been kind of nice here. Not really hot in the last three days, I guess, but hopefully it continues for the rest of the week. But sit back for the next 3 hours. Got some cool soul 45's out of my collection, and we opened up with an instrumental by Cool Heat. It's from June of 1970. Came out on the Forward record label. The song was called "Groovin' with Mr. Blow." That's BLOE. Now, this charted number 98 on Cashbox, 89 on Billboard, a big number 2 record on KGW in Portland, Oregon. This song initially was a throwaway B-side, throwaway B-side instrumental of a single by a group called Wind, aka Tony Orlando, that came out in September of '69. The A-side was called Make Believe. It was a number 28 Billboard hit for him, but the flip side was this instrumental. They shortened it on this re-release from 4 minutes and 43 seconds. This was 2 minutes 28 seconds. June 1970, they changed the name to the Cool Heat on Forward Records, Groovin' with Mr. Blow. You're going to be grooving with Johnny G tonight for some cool 60's 45's out of my collection, all on original vinyl. Let's open up the vocal portion here with a group from St. Louis, Missouri, first recording for the Norman label. They were known as the Bob Cuban Band with their initial release, and in December '65 with their first release on the Musicland USA record label. They ended up with their biggest hit, number 15 on Cashbox, 12 on Billboard, a number 1 record on KXOK in St. Louis, Missouri. It features Walter Scott on lead. Our opener tonight, December '65 release for the Bob Cuban and the Inman on Musicland USA. It's called The Cheater.
Haven't you heard about the guy known as the cheater? He'll take your girl and then he'll lie and he'll mistreat her. It seems every day now you hear people say now, look out for the cheater, make way for the fool-hearted clown. Look out for the cheater, he's gonna build you up just to let you down. All of you girls had better stay inside your door now. He'll hurt you once, then turn around and hurt you some more now. When he's out betraying, you hear people saying, look out for the cheater, make way for the fool-hearted clown. Look out for the cheater, he's gonna build you up just to let you down. That cheater took my baby away from me. Yes, how? I don't mean maybe I'll get her back, just wait and see. Wait and see. One of these days he'll find a girl who knows all about him. She's gonna break his carefree heart and go on without him. And you'll hear thereafter, above all the laughter, tough luck for the cheater, too bad for the fool-hearted clown. Tough break for the cheater who used to build you up
We open up with a hit here to the vocal portion of the All 60's edition. Bob Cuban and the Inmen, December 65 release. That's their first of 6 on the Musicland USA record label, song entitled The Cheater. Lead singer on that, his name is Walter Scott. Now, for you collectors out there, the true first press of this should be on the yellow label. Then when the record started taking off, Amy Malabelle started distributing it nationally with various color variations. Now, really, the story about this group is the lead singer. It was unfortunate that Walter Scott, he went missing, I think, in December of 1983, and evidently it was found out that he was murdered by his wife's estranged boyfriend. He was originally reported missing December 27th of 83. He was discovered April of 87. His body was found in a cistern, hogtied. He was shot in the chest. A real mystery around it. The boyfriend still denied it all the years. They thought maybe that his son might have had something to do with it. Not Walter Scott's son, the boyfriend's son, because he was already incarcerated. And this guy also, I think he staged his he killed his wife. He said that she died in a car accident, but no, he killed his wife too. So it's all messed up, and unfortunately the loss of a great singer there, Walter Scott. Let's continue now. This next singer, born Darrell Eubanks in Mansfield, Ohio, but he was raised in Buffalo, and he relocated to Detroit, Michigan. He recorded as Darrell Banks, first recorded for the Revelot label in 1966, had 2 releases on that label. In 67, had 2 more on the Atco label. Let's give a listen to his first. It looks like possibly Revelot sold this master to the Atco record label. This tune written by Gene Redd, Jimmy Crosby, and Rose Marie McCoy. We go back to March 1967. This is Darrell Banks on the Atco label. It's called I've Got That Feeling. That's the sound of Darrell Banks here on the All 60's edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. March 1967, Darrell Banks on Atco. It's called I've Got That Feeling. And again, another unfortunate demise for Darrell Banks, and he was shot and killed by an off-duty policeman in Detroit, Michigan. He was involved in an affair with Darrell's girlfriend in March of 1970, and I don't know whatever escalated, but he ended up shooting Darrell, and he died from that gunshot wound, I think to the neck or something. I don't know. Terrible, terrible demise for our first two singers here, but maybe not for this next gal, as she is mostly known for her jazz and blues vocals dating back to the late 1940s, and in the 1950s singing with Duke Ellington and his orchestra, but she had 4 singles released during her career. 2 were on the ABC record label, one in 1960, but it took 7 years for her next single to come out on ABC. This is produced by Lou Zito and Johnny Pate, who also arranged this tune. Her name was Lou Elliott, L-U Elliott, L-U, first name. I guess that's how you pronounce it, Lou Elliott. This is from March 67 on ABC Records. Let's give it a spin. It's called I Love the Ground You Walk On.
If I were a poet, I would say in verse how much you mean to me. But I'm not a poet, so I can't recite my love in poetry. Even though I don't know how to rhyme, I can tell you how I feel in one line. I love the ground you walk on. I love the ground you walk on. And my love grows stronger each day. Darling, what more can I say? Everything that you do fills my heart with joy and makes me swell with the pride. There's something about you that makes me feel so wonderful and warm inside. No one else could ever take your place. I just live for you in your sweet embrace. I love the ground you walk on. I love the ground you walk on. And my love grows stronger each day. Darling, what more can I say? I love the ground, hey baby, that you walk on. I love the air you breathe. I love it, baby. I love the ground you walk on, baby.
March 67 release there. Lou Elliott's her name, ABC Records. I Love the Ground You Walk On is the name of that tune. As we continue now, we go to Los Angeles, California for the sound of the Marvellos. This Marvellos group's with 2 L's, and they began recording doowop back in 1962 for the Exodus Reprise record labels, and they signed with Loma Records. This is their second of 2, a tune written by Willie Hutchinson. It features Milton Hayes on lead. This charted number 46 on WYLD in New Orleans, Louisiana. Let's go back to October 1966. These are the Marvellos on Loma. It's called You're Such a Sweet Thing.
That I know, I've seen them come, I've seen them go, but it's no a different girl each and every night. But that's where I'm different. Let them call me a square. No other girl's going to mess up our affair because you're such a sweet thing. I said you're such a sweet thing. Baby, you're sweeter to me than candy. You make my heart feel dandy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Compared to you, sugar tastes like salt. Oh baby. And I said ooh, you drive a honey bear wild. Oh baby, and the honey that's made on the honeycomb by the bee compared to you would sing out of style. Girl, if they put you on an ice cream cone, I'd be down to the ice cream parlor all day long because you're such a sweet thing. I said you're such a sweet thing. Baby, you're sweeter to me than candy. You make my heart feel dandy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Ain't nobody sweeter than my baby. Ain't nobody sweeter than my baby.
Those are the Marvellos. Marvellos out of Los Angeles, not the Chicago Marvellos. October 1966, the second of two on the Loma record label. Milton Hayes, the lead singer on that. You're Such a Sweet Thing. And they would have others that came out on the Warner Brothers record label, also on the Modern label. Now let's continue now on last week's All 60s edition. I featured a cover tune of the Radiants, Ain't No Big Thing, is done by Little Joe and the Latinaires. Came out on the Tommy label from 1965. I have yet another Tex-Mex version of this song as sung by Steve Esteban Jordan and the Jordan Brothers. Now this came out on the ARV International label, which is out of McAllen, Texas. Bobby in Texas, or Charlene, where is McAllen, Texas located? If you know where that is. Supposedly this was recorded though at the ID Club in Phoenix, Arizona, and first issued on a label called ID in 1965, but I have it on the ARV label, ARV International, which supposedly came out in 1968. This is their second of three on ARV International. It's Steve Jordan and the Jordan Brothers with their rendition of the tune Ain't No Big Thing. Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Steve Jordan and the Jordan Brothers from 1968, actually originally from 1965. That is their version of the Radiance tune, Ain't No Big Thing, their second of three on the ARV International record label. Let's go to St. Louis, Missouri for this next group. They have this lone release on Don Roby's Sure Shot record label. It's a female lead with male backing now. The lead singer, her name is Rhonda Washington, and this is from September 1964. Let's give a listen to the Mustangs. The Mustangs on Sure Shot. Their tune is called First Love.
They say there'll never be another love like your first love. Your first love. No matter who you have, it's him you always be thinking of. Whoa, I know someday you'll sigh and then you'll start to cry, 'cause you're thinking of the past, the love that could have lasted your first love. First love, baby. Remember, he's the one who said, you know I love you so. I love you so. He promised, yes, he promised that he would never let you go. Whoa, and now you're wondering why he left and said goodbye. He didn't love you like he said. You let it go to your head, your first love. Your first love. Now don't cry, don't cry. No, he's not worth your tears. Sad, sad girl. I know you'll find a guy someday by and by. Even though it's him you want to be near. So go on, yeah. Go on and start anew. Cause now you know that his love was a love that was never true. Whoa, he caused you so much pain and drove you so insane. He's gotten someone else. He's put you on the shelf, your first love. Your first love. Now he was your first love. He was your first love. There'll never be another love, love like your first love. He said he loved you, girl, yeah. But now he's gone.
They're out of St. Louis, Missouri, recording on a label, Don Roby's label. Out of Houston, Texas, Sure Shot Records there. Those are the Mustangs, September 64 release. First Love is the name of that one. Rhonda Washington, she's the lead singer now. This record, some of you may own this record, came out a month later as the Mighty Mustangs. And I bet the reason they changed their name was because Don Roby was probably forced to change it, as there must have been a group already known as the Mustangs, very common name. So they forced to change the name to the Mustangs. Let's continue now, and how about a twin spin on the Sure Shot record label, Don Roby's Sure Shot label. I played the B-side of this 45 on the April 25th, 2022 All 60s show, the first of three for the Bell brothers here. They were Alex and Leroy Bell. They were from the state of Florida, and the side I played was Don't You Know She's All Right. Let's give a listen to the A-side. This charted number 21 on WRBD, a station out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, September 65. These are the Bell brothers, our twin spin on the Sure Shot label. It's called Tell Him No. They're called the Bell Brothers there. Our twin spin on the Sure Shot record label. September 1965 released the Bell Brothers with Tell Him No. Tell Him No. Let's go back out to Los Angeles, California for this next singer. Now, you might have seen him lip sync to his biggest hit on Dick Clark's American Bandstand back in 1964. The song was called Kick That Little Foot Sally Ann. That was his fourth release on a label called Domain Records, but he had 11 releases in all on Domain between 1963 and 1966. His real name was Robin Lloyd, but he recorded as Round Robin because that's how he looked. He was very round, like Johnny G. He was a big guy. But he signed with Capitol Records to have this lone release. This tune written by Paul Hampton, produced by David Axelrod, July 1967. Let's give a listen to Round Robin. Round Robin on the Capitol label. The song is called The Vulture.
Night and day, he's watching us, girl. But if I have my way, he won't mess up our world. Not the vulture. The vulture! Hey, he's the kind of guy, oh yeah, who'll hang around, oh don't you know, waiting for love to die. Hey, now the vulture, yeah, he's circling his prey. And he's been watching us, don't you know, both night and day. Oh, now let me tell you, hey, he always circles around whenever he smells trouble. Comes swooping down whenever he thinks he'll stumble. Just because he knows we had a foolish quarrel. He don't know that you and I will patch it up tomorrow. Vulture, yeah, go on and fly away, yeah. Can't you see that I love her? Don't you know? And that's the way it's gonna stay. Get on out of my life, vulture. Get on out of here. Come here, girl. Let me kiss that hurt away. Your love means too much to let it fall prey to somebody like the vulture. Hey, vulture, go on and fly away, yeah. Don't you know that I love her? Don't you know? And that's the way it's gonna stay. Hey, yeah. Don't you know that I love her? Get out my life, vulture. Hey, vulture, go on and fly away, baby. Don't you know that I need...
As Round Robin, his real name Robin Lloyd there, July 67. His only release on the Capitol label called The Vulture. Now, in 1972, he had two, as he was called Round Robin Monopoly. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, that was back in 1972. Well, anyway, let's continue here. We go to Philadelphia now. You all know this gal out of Philadelphia. She had 13 releases for the Cameo record label. This is the B-side to her final release. It was also issued as the B-side to her 10th release on the Cameo record label, written by Kenny Gamble and Juanita Boone. This is from February 1966. This is the great Dee Dee Sharp. Dee Dee Sharp on the Cameo label, and her tune's called There Ain't Nothing I Wouldn't Do For You. Dee Dee Sharp.
All my loving just for you.
That's the sound of Dee Dee Sharp here on the All 60s edition. February 1966. That's actually a B-side. Was the B-side to her 10th release on the Cameo label, and also what did I say? Her what did I say here? Her final release, her 13th release. Now, I featured it off her 13th release, which was called It's a Funny Situation. That was the A-side from February 66. Also, it was the flip side of her December 64 release, To Know Him Is to Love Him, which was a cover of the Teddy Bears' 1958 hit. Let's continue here. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan for this next group. They first recorded for the Keiko label back in 1963, but then they signed with Golden World Records for 9 releases. Their first release became their biggest hit. I'm sure many of you know the tune. It was called Just Like Romeo and Juliet, but let's give a listen to their third release, and it features Tony McCauley, or is it McCauley? Tony McCauley on lead. This is from August 1964. Give a listen to the Reflections on Golden World Records. It's called Talkin' About My Girl, the Reflections.
Gentle and sweet, talking about my girl. I love her and I need her. She can be me, talking about my girl. I'll never deceive her. Her love is meant for me, and that's the way it's gotta be. Oh, talking about my girl. Whoa, talking about my girl. So hard to find, talking about my girl. She's pretty as a picture, so glad she's mine, talking about my girl. You know I can't resist her. Her love is so understanding, yet not too demanding, talking about my girl. Whoa, talking about my girl. When I take her out among the crowd, she's the main attraction. I feel so proud. Her ways, her personality, my girl, she suits me to a T. Hollering out loud, talking about my girl. Want everyone to know that I'm on a cloud when talking about my girl. Show that her love is heavenly, and her love belongs to me. Talking about my girl. Whoa, talking about my girl.
August 1964 release there for the Reflections. Reflections on Golden World. That's their third release. Talking About My Girl is the name of the tune. Tony McCauley, he's the lead singer on that one. How about a twin spin by the Reflections? We just heard their third release on the Golden World record label. How about their 8th release, their 8th of 9 on the Golden World record label? This one came out in July of 1965, and how appropriate for the month of June. These are the Reflections on Golden World. Their tune is called June Bride.
Round the corner
That's our twin spin there on the Reflections, Talking About My Girl. That was their third release. Just heard their eighth release on the Golden World record label, July 65 release, The Reflections, with June Bride. And they would have, I think, two more releases came out on the ABC Paramount record label. I know I have one of them. Maybe I have both of them. I'd have to check the records. But that's going out to all the June Brides out there. Maybe that's including Zelda and Christine in our Oldies and More chat room as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now let's go out to California for this girl group trio. They had two overall releases. Their first one I think came out on Chattahoochee. This is their other that came out on the DG record label. Now their songs were written by Gary Hemrick and Jerry Steiner, and they really were a prolific songwriting team working on lots of movie musicals. Those are like some of those early 1960s songs appearing in all those cool beach movies, you know, all the singers that would come on and lip sync to songs on those beach movies. Well, they wrote all those tunes. And recently I featured the Supremes version of Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. That was a song that they wrote and is actually the flip side of this 45 here. But these gals are called the Bees, B-E-A-S, the Bees. So let's give a listen to the B-side of the Bees 45 on the DG record label. And this is from December 65, the Bees on DG. It's called Where Do I Go From You, the Bees.
Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go from you? Every thought for me used to be clear to see from here to eternity. Where do I go? Where do I go from you? All the world was gaying away, one could say, how dear tomorrow today. But where do I go? Baby, where do I go from you? I have forgotten how it was before. Now here I am after, no laughter, no tears, no more. All the nights seem long and the songs are wrong, and there's nowhere where I belong. Where do I go? Baby, where do I go from you? Where do I go? Where do I go from you? Where do I go? 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 Where do I go?
They're called the Bees, B-E-A-S, December 1965 release on the DG record label. Where Do I Go From You is the name of the tune. That's a pretty cool dancing tune, I have to say, as we continue here. We head to Brooklyn, New York for the sound of the Jive 5. This is one of my aunt's favorite tunes by the group, at least the latter tunes that they do. They started with Belltone Records back in 1961, recorded for other labels, United Artists, Musicor, Decca, and others. Now, my aunt purchased this 45 back in 1968. It's their third release on the Musicor label, written and arranged and conducted by Richie Adams. This is produced by Otis Pollard, and of course it features the late Eugene Pitt on lead. This bubbled under at number 119 on the Billboard Bubbling Under charts, number 34 on the R&B chart, a big number 15 record on WWRL here in New York City. Let's go to March of 1968. The Jive 5 on the Musicor label. It's called Sugar, Don't Take Away My Candy. That's the great sound of Eugene Bitt and the Jive 5 there, March 1968, release on the Music-Core record label Sugar, parentheses, Don't Take Away My Candy. I always remember, I think of my aunt when I play that record because she used to play that song quite a bit. Let's continue now as this next singer, he's from the Bronx, began recording in the 1950s with his group The Juniors back in 1956, I think, with the song I Promise to Remember. That also covered by Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. But in 1962, he recorded as the Jimmy Castor Quintet. Now, he had his biggest hit, believe it or not, in 1972 on the Atlantic label, if anybody knows the song Troglodyte Caveman. And at that time, his group was known as the Jimmy Castor Bunch. Had a lot of releases on the Atlantic label. Also, I think on RCA Records too, I think. But he had 3 releases on this Jet Set label. It's cool. It's called Super Sound Jet Set label, and this is the first of 3 on the label, and my copy isn't in the greatest shape, I have to say, but I think it's an in-demand record, so I apologize for the condition. I picked this up in my travels, like for a song and a dance. I probably paid nothing for this record, but let's give it a spin here. The tune written by Jimmy Castor along with Johnny Pruitt. This is from July 65. Jimmy Castor on the Jet Set label, a scratchy copy now. The tune is called It's Okay.
It's okay. Wear the finest clothes. I will pay, and you can see the latest shows. It's okay, while you love just me, no one else. That's how it must be. It's okay. Since it's gotta be that way, it's okay. It's okay. Buy expensive rings, caviar, and all those high-priced things. Bring your problems straight to Daddy's door. I'll solve them, baby. That's what I'm here for. Okay, baby. Alright. As long as you're gonna stay, it's okay. It's okay to let your hair hang down. Go to parties, bring your friends around. Say you love me, keep me in your heart. It's okay, baby. You can even use my credit cards. It's okay, baby. Okay. If you really want it that way, it's okay. One more time, I'm gonna tell you. As long as you're gonna stay, it's okay. Okay, baby. Alright.
Scratchy 45's here on a Monday evening, the JohnnyG's All 60's show. That's Jimmy Castor from July 65 on the Jet Set record label. Song entitled It's Okay, and that's how that 45 just plays. Just okay, unfortunately, but beggars can't be choosy. Not when you find these 45's in the nooks and crannies of garage sales and basements and thrift shops, etc. But let's continue here, and got a special request for listener Chipper. He is in our Oldies and More chat room. He asked me last week if I had this 45, and I was able to pull it out for tonight's show. Of course, this singer born in New Orleans, Louisiana, but he relocated to Buffalo, New York. First recorded for the Deluxe record label back in 1957, but had lots of releases through the 1950s and through the 1960s on labels like Red Top and VJ and J-Lin and Parkway and Cub, plus many others, well into all platinum into the 1970s and other labels. And he also had 4 releases on the Gateway label. That's a label out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Chipper requested the B-side to his 4th release on the Gateway label, and it's a song he co-wrote. This one from July 1965. Let's give a listen to Donnie Elbert. Donnie Elbert on the Gateway label. This is going out to Chipper in our Oldies and More chat room. The song is called Never Again. That's the unique sound of Donnie Elbert there, going out to Chipper in our Oldies and More chat room. July 1965 release on the Gateway record label out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Never Again is the name of the tune. Let's continue now. Let's go to this gal. She's originally from Birmingham, Alabama, but she relocated to Los Angeles, California at age 8 and began recording at age 16 when she signed with Reprise Records. This was her first of 3, a tune written by Joe South, produced by Jimmy Bowen and arranged by Jack Nietzsche. This one from April 1963. Let's give a listen to Pat Powdrill. Pat Powdrill on the Reprise record label. It's called Fell by the Wayside. That's the first of three for Pat Powdrill on the Reprise record label. April 63 release, Fell by the Wayside. That's a Joe Southpen tune, which was covered later on back in 1968 on Atco by Stevie Holland. Cover that tune. Let's continue here. Let's go back. Let's flip over that Donnie Elbert 45 as requested, instant request for listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room as I featured Donnie Elbert with a B-side for Chipper from July 65, Never Again on Gateway. Mark requested The Flip, and it's an interesting title here. This is Donnie Elbert on Gateway. This is the intended A-side. It's called Your Red Wagon, parentheses, you can, what did I say? I wrote it down wrong. You can push it or pull it. This is for Mark Speck, Donnie Elbert.
You can push. You can push it or pull it. Ah! That's your red wagon. I'm giving up, baby, we're through. Ah! You can take it. You can take it or leave it. Ah! That's that's your red wagon. I'm giving up, baby, we're through. Ah! How many times have I been on my knees? How many times have I begged, baby, please? How many times? I'm tired, baby, I'm tired. Ah! You can take it. You can take it or leave it. Ah! That's your red wagon. I'm giving up on you. Ah! How many times have I been on my knees? How many times have I begged, baby, please? How many times? I'm tired, baby, I'm tired. Ah! You can push it or pull it. Ah! That's your red wagon. I'm giving up, baby, we're through. Ah! You can push it or pull it, baby. You can take it or leave it, baby. I'm tired, baby. Leave me alone, baby. That's your red wagon. That's your red wagon.
As going out to Mark Speck, Donnie Elbert there. That's the A-side of his fourth and final release on the Gateway label, Your Red Wagon, parentheses, you can push it or you can pull it, from July 1965. Let's continue with the requests. Up next, here's one for Sabrina in our YouTube chat room. She requested this great group out of Brooklyn, New York, Little Anthony and the Imperials. They have so many great tunes, and Little Anthony Guardine still performing today. Now, Sabrina requested the B-side to the group's Second of Six. Came out on Don Costa's DCP International label. Now, you all know the A-side was a big hit for the group. It was called Going Out of My Head. But let's give a listen to the B-side here from October 1964. This is going out to Sabrina, Little Anthony and the Imperials on DCP International. It's called Make It Easy on Yourself. This is for Sabrina.
Make it easy on yourself. Let her play her game with someone else. You are playing with her rules. Her right or wrong, you're gonna lose. Make it easy on yourself. Give her up, find someone new. What's the good? She's not in love with you. There is nothing left to save, so why make yourself a slave? Make it easy on yourself. She's gonna change the way you walk and change the way you talk when she is through. She's gonna make you walk the line while she makes up her mind that she's through with you. Make it easy on yourself. Even though your heart will hurt you a while, it's much better in the end, and it hurts more to pretend. Make it easy on yourself. It's much better in the end, and it hurts more to pretend. Make it easy on yourself. Easy. Come on, baby. Make it easy on yourself. Don't make it hard on yourself, baby. Daddy's gonna treat you right, baby. Don't worry. Come on, baby.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there by request for Sabrina in our YouTube chat room. October 64. That's the flip side of Little Anthony Imperial's Going Out of My Head, song entitled Make It Easy on Yourself on DCP International. I have another one coming up for Warren and Sabrina just in a little bit here. Let's continue now. And up next, an R&B duet. They are Dickie and Gloria. Now, Dickie is Dickie Williams, who wrote this tune. No one seems to know who Gloria is. Maybe a girlfriend at the time, but I don't know. But Dickie first recorded on the Vin label back in 1960, but he has a number of releases into the 1990s, and some of them with very naughty titles. So if you go check some titles by this singer Dickie Williams, they're kind of interesting titles that Johnny G can't say over the air. But this song is called, well, this one is a clean title. That was the joke here. This one is a clean title from March 1964. Dickie and Gloria on the Diamond label. It's called Mr. Clean.
What do you want out of life?
I want a man.
I said, girl, now. What do you want out of life?
I want a man. I want a man. Run around. Flirting with every chicken in town. I want a man. I want a man. Settle down.
Baby, you out of your mind now, you know? Hey, girl. I like you in everything now.
You do, huh?
Yes, I do, baby. Hey, woman. You know I dig you, but can't buy you no rings.
I can use you, baby.
Oh, no, I cannot hear it because they call me Mr. Clean. Hey, 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 now. Body, body, me. Don't you know if I marry you, what are the other girls
As Dickie and Gloria there, March 1964. Not an easy 45 to find on the Diamond record label out of New York City. Mr. Clean is the name of the tune. I had to clean that record up with some Dawn dishwashing liquid and a toothbrush, but it doesn't play bad for that condition here. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show on the April 11th, 2022 All 60s show. I featured a 45 by this group out of San Antonio, Texas on the RPR record label from 1968. And I played both sides. One side was If I Could See You Now, and I think it was Mark that requested the flip, Shouldn't I Take You Home? But they return now tonight, and this is an earlier release that they did from 1966. Originally came out on the Key Lock record label, a local label out of Houston, Texas, but then it was picked up for national distribution by the Cameo Parkway folks, and that's how I have it. So I have the national release. The original's on a red label. This is, I guess, the national release on this powder blue label. And this was a #1 record on KRIO out of McAllen, Texas, wherever McAllen is. Charlene, where is McAllen, Texas, or Bobby in Texas? Let me know. Now, this song written by the lead singer Sonny Ozuna on lead. He wrote the tune from August 66. Sonny Ozuna and the Sunliners on the Key Lock label. It's called Smile Now, Cry Later.
Smile now, cry later. Smile now, cry later for you, for you. My friends tell me you could never be wrong to me, so I'll smile for my friends and cry later. I'm gonna smile for my friends and cry later. Yeah, smile for my friends and cry later for you, for you. I wouldn't be crying if I didn't love you so. I'll smile for my friends and cry later. Smile for my friends and cry later. Yeah, smile for my friends and cry later for you, for tell me that you love me, that you put nobody else above me, that you cross your heart. Stop for my friends and cry later. I'll be crying for you.
There you go with the sound. Whoops, I lost my place. I did. That's a Sonny Ozuna and the Sunliners, a song he wrote there from August 66. On the Key Lock record label, Smile Now, Cry Later. As we continue now, and you all know this singer, born in Latta, South Carolina, but raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was a member of the Dell Vikings before he went solo, recorded as Charles Jackson back in 1959 on the Clock label, but he signed with Juan Records in 1961, had 32 releases on the Juan label through 1968. Let's give a listen to his 25th release. This charted number 23 on WJMO out of Cleveland, Ohio. We go back to October 1966 for Chuck Jackson. Chuck Jackson on the Juan label. It's called I've Got to Be Strong.
My eyes,
comes a life that's oh so sad. But I know I got to be strong, 'cause I know I got to carry on. But there goes the girl that broke my heart. There goes the girl that tore it apart. I know I've got to be strong, I know I gotta carry on. But there goes the picture from my wall, the guy that's gotta live down the hall. Here are the cigarettes that she left, even got her earrings laying on my chest. But I know I got to be strong, 'cause I know I got to carry on. But there goes the girl that broke my heart. There goes the girl that tore it all apart. I know I've got to be strong, I know I got to carry on. I want my baby, I'm looking for my baby. I know I've got to be strong, I know I gotta carry on. Where is my baby? Lord have mercy, I gotta have my I know she's down the hall, but I don't dare go down and knock.
That's the sound of Chuck Jackson here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show, October 1966. I've Got to Be Strong is the name of that one on the Juan record label. I have a bunch of his 45s pulled out for future shows, so stick around for Chuck Jackson. Let's continue here. This is a cover tune up next, as this was a Carole King, Jerry Golfin pen tune, first done by Gene Pitney. Gene Pitney did this one back in 1961 on the Music Core record label. But let's move up to 1967 before this gal from Brooklyn, New York. Her real name is Rita Coleman, but you know her as Roddy Joy. This is her third of four on the Parkway record label from March 1967. Roddy Joy on Parkway, and her rendition of the tune, Every Breath I Take.
Stars above for sending me your very precious love. You'll never hear me sing a prayer, thanks to someone way up there who gave me such a lucky break. Oh no, darling, darling, only with every little breath I take. Have to be apart. I hardly ever find you in my heart. And when it comes to thinking of the thought of losing all your love, I never wear my heart break. Oh no, darling, darling, only with every little breath I take, only with every little step I make, with every beat of my heart, every single minute that you're away, every breath I take. Oh, when it comes to thinking of the thought of losing all your love, I never wear my heart away. No, 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 baby, baby, only with every little breath I take, only with every little step I make, with every beat of my heart, every single minute that you're away, every breath I take. Oh yeah, every step I make, every beat of my heart, every time I
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Roddy Joy's version of the Gene Pitney tune Every Breath I Take. That's her third of four on the Parkway label. From March 67, of course, she began her career with three cool releases on the Redbird record label. I had one, I didn't play it tonight, but I have it pulled to play. We feature her here on the All 60s edition. Hope you're digging on the tunes. Those of you tuned in on the YouTube live stream, also those of you listening on Oldies and More Radio Network, if you're new to the program watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel so you'll get notifications. Click the bell to get notifications and like the video. Very important for YouTube to see that information. Let's continue here for this next group. They had four releases on Hiram Johnson's Johnson Records out of New York City, and this is their third. I think this is their third of four. A tune written by Ray DeRouge, who not too long ago unfortunately passed away, but he not only wrote and produced so many great tunes during his career, he also sang. He sang lead in the early 1960s, 62. He was the lead singer of Ray and the Darshés on the Aljon label with the song Little Girl So Fine. But he also wrote this tune for the Soul Set, and it features Norman Selden. I don't know if Norman Selden is on lead, or it could be one of the players. I don't know, but it's the Soul Set. I like both sides of this 45. This is the intended B-side as we go back to 1968. The Soul Set on the Johnson label. It's called I Don't Want Her, But I Need Her. The Soul Set.
Don't want her, but I need her.
I have never been down on my knees before, but now you've got me down here on the floor. So bad she's treating me,
That's how she get her
but
kicks.
there's a need in me. I don't like it, but I can't fight it. I don't want her, but I need her. I don't want her, but I need her. I don't like it, but I can't fight it. I don't want her, but I need her. One taste of her sweet love and I was well about her. But now she runs around and I can't live without her. Breaking hearts that can't be fixed.
That's how she get her
It's
kicks.
how she gets her kick. I don't like it, but I can't fight it. I don't want her, but I need her.
But I
I want her, but I need her. She makes me sick, but I need her back. I don't want her, but I need her. I don't want her, but I need her. She makes me sick, but I need her back. I don't want her, but I need her.
but I need her.
Oh, but I want her.
Oh, but I want her.
Oh, but I need her.
Oh, but I need her.
There you go. That is a cold ending on that 45 1968 release. The Soul Set featuring Norman Selden on lead. That's their third of four on the Johnson label. I don't want her, but I need her. Let's move on here on the All 60s edition for this next singer, born Maurice Dollison in New Madrid, Missouri. First recording as Maurice Dollison and the Turnkeys on the Impact record label in early 1964. But then he changed his name to Cash McCall in 1966 when he signed with the Thomas label. His biggest hit was his first release on Thomas. It was called When You Wake Up. But this was the follow-up, a tune written by Cash and Monk Higgins, his second of 4 on the Thomas label. This was a number 11 record on KOKY in Little Rock, Arkansas. We go to September 1966 now for Cash McCall on the Thomas label. It's called Let's Get a Thing Going On.
Peaches, pumpkin pie, you're the apple of my eye. I watch the day and night time too, trying to find a way to get next to you. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's get a thing going on. You know we could get a thing going on. Listen to this. From girl to girl, trying to find one to share my world. If we get together, it'll be in my past, 'cause I could love you with a love that would last. Come on, baby. Can't you see it? Come on, baby. Let's get a thing going on. You know we could get a thing going on. Listen, here's something else I don't know. I'd be satisfied just knowing you were by my side. Come on, baby. Can't you see? Come on, baby. Come on. Let's get a thing going on. Let's get a thing going on. Listen. I love you. That's important. And I need you. And that's good. Yeah, it's so good to me. We can get a thing going on, baby.
That's Mr. Cash McCall there, September 66. That is his second release, second of 4 on the Thomas label. Let's get a thing going on. Come on, we got a thing going on every Monday night from 8 to 11 right here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. We continue now. I'm guessing this next gal, she's out of New York, and almost all of her sides, I think all of them except one, was written by Jimmy Oliver, and he was a tenor saxophonist and band leader, but he wrote this tune for this gal by the name of Beverly McKay, MC space Kay. She had 3 overall releases. Her first 2 were on Old Town. She had 1 more on the Sue label, but this was her first. Came out on Old Town Records, and it sounds like this song was inspired by Barbara Lynn. If you know the song that was one of Barbara Lynn's biggest hits, then you'll know this tune. Let me know if you think so. And this one here from March 63, let's give it a spin. Beverly McKay on the Old Town label. And tell me if you think this tune was not inspired by Barbara Lynn's song. This is called You Better Believe Me. This is Beverly McKay.
When I said I'd leave you, you didn't think so, did you, honey? You started calling me sweet names that you knew would make me feel real funny. Now that I'm gone, baby, you can't deceive me, and you'd better believe was taking away your only pride and joy. Now that I'm gone, baby, you can't deceive me, and you better believe me. After all the happiness I gave to you, heartaches you brought in return. Now it's your turn to cry now, baby, because the tables have turned. Now that I'm gone far away, baby, you can't deceive me, so you better believe me. Whoa, yes you have. When I ask you to do right, baby, you act just like a clown. You laughed 'cause you felt like I could never put you down. Now that I'm gone, baby, you can't deceive me, so you'd better believe me. You started talking about all the good things that you had done for me, but that only reminds me, baby, of the heartaches, the heartbreaks, the pain and misery. Now that I'm gone, baby, you can't deceive me, and you better believe me. Oh, I don't wanna put you down, baby, but you better believe me. Right on down, right on down, right on down. You better believe me. Baby, 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 you better believe me.
That's the debut single for Beverly McKay. Beverly McKay, March 1963, High Weiss's Old Town record label, which is out of New York City. Song entitled You Better Believe Me, and I think it reminds me of Barbara Lynn's You'll Lose a Good Thing. That is a great tune, Miss Barbara Lynn. She's got some great records on the Jamie label and other labels too, Atlantic Records and other Tribe Records, etc. Going to play some Barbara Lynn in the future. Let's continue now for this group from Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, New York. They have this one release on Sidney Frey's Audio Fidelity label, which is out of New York City. Now, the lead singer, his name is Michael Zarzana, and this one written by L. Skipwith and produced by Eddie White, whoever they are. It's from January 68. Let's give a listen to Michael and the Continentals. It's Michael Zarzana on lead, Michael and the Continentals on the Audio Fidelity label. It's called Little Schoolgirl.
Did you know, little
January 68 release there from Michael and the Continentals. It's on the Audio Fidelity label. Little Schoolgirl is the name of the tune. Hope you're digging on the cool 60s, 45's. We do it every Monday night right here on Oldies and More Radio, 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell your friends. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We move on here for this singer from Simmsport, Louisiana, but he relocated to Oakland, California in 1959. Started singing with a vocal group called the Golden Tones, recorded for Hush Records. First going solo, though, in 1960. Had his biggest hit called The Choking Kind back in 1969 for Soundstage 7 Records, and I would say probably his biggest hit was called Drowning in the Sea of Love. That was from 1971 on the Spring label, but he had some pretty cool records during his career. Let's give a listen to his 6th of 17 releases that came out on Soundstage 7. This charted number 56 on Cashbox, 49 on Billboard, was a number 22 R&B charted 45, but a big number 8 record on WSGN in Birmingham, Alabama, also WJLB out of Detroit, and WRBD in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Big number 8s on those stations. Let's give a listen to Joe Simon. This is from December 67. Joe Simon on Soundstage 7. The song is called, didn't write it down, No Sad Song.
Now that I know what love can be, you
That's the sound of Joe Simon here on the All 60s edition, December 1967. No Sad Song is the name of the tune on the Soundstage 7 record label. That's his 6th of 17th. We're going to flip the 45 over for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room, but let's get to this request. Actually, this is a request for Warren. Asked me to play. I had to quickly look for my Mighty Marvellos. I was able to find one filed away. But anyway, this is we're going to send this one out to Sabrina and Warren, or Sabrina via Warren, for this group from Chicago Heights, Illinois, signed with ABC Paramount Records back in 1964. as the Marvellos initially, but not to be confused with the group we heard earlier out of Los Angeles, California. And but this group had 9 releases for ABC Records, 5 as the Marvellos and 4 as the Mighty Marvellos. I think I have 3 of those 4 as the Mighty Marvellos, but I easily found this one, their 6th release and their first as the Mighty Marvellos. And this is the A side. And if Sabrina knows this side, I hope this is the right side, Sabrina. But the name of the tune is called In the Morning, which bubbled under at number 105 on Billboard, was a number 24 R&B hit and a number 3 record on WFEC in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Now features Johnny Payton on lead here. This is from November 67. These are the Mighty Marvellos. This is going out to Sabrina and Warren on ABC Records. The song is called In the Morning.
When the morning comes, darling, I know just how good you feel. In the morning, let's change our weary night to a midday thrill. Whatever it is, gonna be alright when the morning comes. I know you didn't mean to say those things to me, 'cause after all it was late and you were on one of your drinking spree. Whatever it's gonna be alright when the morning comes. When it comes. When the morning comes, darling, I know just how good you feel. In the morning, let's change our weary night to a midday thrill. Whatever it's gonna be alright. I know things gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright when the morning comes. When the morning comes, baby, baby, when it comes.
That's by request for Sabrina and Warren, the Mighty Marvellos, their November 1967 release on the ABC record label In the Morning. That's Johnny Payton, the lead singer on that. That was their, what did I say that was? That was their first, actually that was their fifth. Their fifth as the, wait, what did I do this? 5 is I messed this up, their 6th. There you go. That's their 6th release on the ABC record label, the Mighty Marvellos with In the Morning. We're going to flip that 45 over momentarily, but let's flip over the other one. For Mark Speck, I played Joe Simon, his 6th of 17 on SSS International, the A-side called No Sad Song from December 67. Mark asked for the flip, and it's called Come On and Get It. This is Joe Simon. This is going out to Mark Speck on SSS International, December 67. Come On and Get It. Joe Simon.
Then come on and get it, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Take all of my love I've not had but a hold. Oh, baby, come on, baby. I've got a whole lot of love waiting for you, baby.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Who was he singing with? There were two guys on that 45 there. That's Joe Simon. That's a B-side there. The flip side to No Sad Song, Come On and Get It, December 1967. That's going out to Mark Speck. And we're going to flip over another 45 that Mark requested. Actually, we're going to send it out to all three who requested the Mighty Marvellos. We just heard In the Morning by the Mighty Marvellos from November 67. Let's flip it over here. So this is going out to Mark, Sabrina, and Warren from November 67 on ABC Records, the Mighty Marvellos with Talkin' 'Bout Ya Baby.
It's so hard to find a girl who will love you. It's so hard to find someone who will be true. So my love, take my advice, stay sweet and kind, and always be nice, yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby, talking about your baby. Alright, talking about your girl now. Alright, talking about your baby. Alright, oh yeah. I told you to leave, get out of my life, but now I've changed my mind. I wanna walk you back in my life, but you are so wrong, and I shouldn't forgive you. But you know I love you, and that's all. Oh, baby, please don't go. Oh, baby, baby, don't you walk out that door. Said, oh, my love, take my advice, stay sweet and kind, and always be there, hey, baby, hey, baby, hey, baby, talking about your baby, alright, talking about your baby, alright, talking about our, yeah,
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. The Mighty Marvellos there. That's going out to Sabrina, Mark, and Warren. November 67, the flip side of In the Morning. Talkin' 'Bout Ya Baby is the name of that one, with the Johnny Payton, the lead singer on that one. Let's continue here for after Mary Wells left the Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown empire. She signed with 20th Century Fox Records, which probably turned out to be the biggest mistake of her career, although at the time she probably thought not, but she had 6 releases on the 20th Century label. Let's give a listen to her third, this one written by Rudy Clark. This bubbled under at number 107 on the Billboard charts, number 28 on WAYA out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and this is actually a cover tune. This was first recorded by the Sapphires out of Philadelphia from 1964 on the ABC Paramount on the ABC Paramount LP Shindig. Really? I didn't know that, Charlene. But anyway, this is from February 65. Miss Mary Wells on 20th Century Fox. It's called Why Don't You Let Yourself Go?
just by the way that you act. Why don't you let yourself go? Let yourself go. You don't have to be so shy. Come on and do what I want you to do. Come on, come on. You don't have to hold it back. I know you'd like nothing better than for us to get together. You don't have to be afraid. I'm giving you the green light, telling you got me. Come on and let yourself go. Let yourself go. You don't have to be so shy. Come on and do what I want you to do. Come on, come on. You don't have to hold it back. I know you like nothing better than for us to get together. You don't have to be afraid. I'm giving you the green light, telling you got me. Why don't you let yourself go? Let yourself go. Boy, you know you got it made. I'm giving you the green light. You got it made. Not talking about that green light.
February 65 release from Mary Wells, her third release on the 20th Century Fox label. Why Won't You Let Yourself Go? How about a twin spin? This is the follow-up to that tune. This was number 74 on Billboard, number 5 record on KDAY out of LA, California. This one from May 1965. This was off her a 20th Century LP, Mary Wells. This one from May 65, Mary Wells with He's a Lover.
He's a lover. Some people talk about my guy. They say he always acts so shy, but I tell you truthfully, when he's all alone with me, he's a lover. Yeah, he's kinda quiet in a crowd. He never likes to come on loud, but when all the people go and we turn the lights down low, he's a lover. When we're alone, he knows the sweetest things to say. He holds me close and loves me in his own sweet way. So let them talk about my guy and let them think he's kind of shy, but I love him like he is, and the secret's mine and his. He's a lover, yeah. He's a lover. He's a lover. When we're alone, he knows the sweetest things to say. He holds me close and loves me in his own sweet way. So let them talk about my guy and let them think he's kind of shy, but I love him like he is, and the secret's mine and his. He's a lover, oh yeah, my sweet lover, oh yeah, quiet lover, oh yeah, sweet, sweet lover.
It's interesting that Kenny Mack in the YouTube chat room and Miami Santi in the Oldies and More chat room at the same time talked about that sax solo there. Interesting, great tune there. Twin Spin from Miss Mary Wells, May 65. Mary Wells on the 20th Century Fox label, He's a Lover. Let's continue now. Now, on my 50s and early 60s show, maybe it was a couple weeks ago, I featured a group out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. I think Cheryl Morgan requested the song by the Chateaus on the Coral label from 1963. Now, two members of that group, Paul Lecca and Gary DiCarlo, along with, then they added one more person, Dale Frasher, I think that's his name, would create this studio group that they would call Steam. And they had a big #1 national hit on the Fontana label back in 1969. I know everybody knows that song because they play it at all the sports games when the teams are getting blown out, or it's at the end of the game and they start singing na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. You know, they do that at the end of at those games. But anyway, that came out on the Fontana label. But after Fontana, they had their remaining singles. Well, they're all their singles, but their next releases were on the Mercury label, and this is their second of 3 on the Mercury label. Now it features Gary DiCarlo on lead. This was a number 17 record on WKTL in Struthers, Ohio. This never made the national charts, though. This is from March 1970. Let's give a listen to Steam on the Mercury label. It's called What I'm Saying Is True.
That living my life without you
touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Steam. Steam, their second of three on the Mercury record label. Gary DiCarlo on lead, March 1970 release. What I'm saying is true. What I'm saying is I only feature original vinyl 45s. We do it every Monday night. All 60s edition from 8 to 11 p.m. Let's continue now for this next singer from Providence, Rhode Island. First recorded for the JNS label back in 1956. I got people begging me to play that record. Not many people own it, but I have it. But this guy continued to record through the early 1970s, and he would have his biggest hit in 1963. I know many of you know the song Hey Girl. Came out on the Colpix record label, but he recorded for a number of different labels during his career. Now, after Colpix, he signed with Columbia for 4. He's got some good releases on the Columbia label. Then he had 9 releases on Burt Burns' Shout label. This is his very last release. Came out on Shout 245, but as a B-side. This was first done as an A-side in July of 1968. That was his 7th single on Shout, but they used it again as a B-side to his very last song, which was called Forever My Darling. But this one, actually, this one released in June 71, but we really can't say that. It's really from 68. So, Santi, this one, even though I'm just telling you it was released in 71, but it's from 68, the song. Freddie Scott here on Shout. It's called Got What I Need.
Salty tears, so afraid and full of fears. So glad you saved me, dear.
Save me, dear.
You brought sunshine to my life. Things were wrong, you made them right. How did you do it, dear?
Do it, dear.
Oh, I'm thankful every day that you came away. And I hope and pray that you'll never I was drowning in the sea of love, going down for the 3rd time. You came and saved me, dear.
Saved me, dear.
All the sweet things you've been doing, I ain't never been used to them. Don't ever stop them, dear.
Stop them, dear.
Oh, I'm thankful every day that you came away. And I'm gonna make sure that you never
every
That's a great sound of Freddie Scott there. June 71, actually, for that release, which was a B-side on the Shout label, Got What I Need, but it first came out in July 68. His seventh single, actually, it has you in parentheses, You Got What I Need. The great Freddie Scott there. Let's continue here with this is a special request for listener Floyd Flowers in our YouTube chat room. Actually, it was from from last Saturday night. We were talking about, I played a record on the Domino label, was a request, what was it, by the Slades, and there was a conversation about this gal. This gal originally from Bowling Green, Kentucky, but she moved to New Orleans in her teens, began recording in 1958 with her sister as Judy and Joyce. Then while they were performing in Mexico, a vacationing label owner, Laura Richardson, who owned the Domino label out of Austin, Texas, saw her, heard her, and signed her to her label. And she ended up having releases on UT, Domino, and Infinity. Then in 1963, she had this one release on the Ciroc label under the name of Sinner Strong. And her name was Joyce Harris, but she recorded as Sinner Strong on this release, as requested by Floyd Flowers in our YouTube chat room, written and produced by Ed Townsend. Ed Townsend, of course, had a big hit in 58 with For Your Love, but he did so much writing and producing in the 1960s. This is from 1963. Her name is Sinner Strong. This is going out to Floyd on the Ciroc label. It's called Don't Knock It. As going out to listener Floyd Flowers in our YouTube chat room there. Sinner Strong, a.k.a. Joyce Harris there, 1963 on the Ciroc record label. Don't Knock It, a cool tune there. Don't Knock Johnny G, spinning all these cool 1960s 45s out of my collection. Let's continue here for this next group out of St. Louis, Missouri. They had this lone release on Oscar Washington's Ballad label, Ballad Records, which started back in 1953, and believe it or not, released Chuck Berry's first 45, his debut 45, as Joe Alexander and the Cubans. plus other vocal groups and gospel 45s. And he shut down the label in 1959, but he resurrected it in 1966 with releases by groups like The Gifts and this group called the Citations. This was from 1967. It features Edward Foster on lead. Let's give a listen to the Citations. It's on the Ballad record label. The tune is called, in parentheses it says, "To Win the Race, Keep the Faith."
Time when things go wrong and the clouds are dark and long. For friends along the way, you hear a voice and hear it say, keep the faith, baby. Don't lose your faith, baby. To win the race, baby. Keep the faith, baby. Darkest hours down. It's hard to see down on the ground. Won't you fall right in that way? But in that voice, you hear it sing. Keep the faith, baby. Don't lose your faith, baby. To win the race, baby. Keep the faith, baby.
...1967 release there for the Citations. Citations on the Ballad record label. To Win the Race, Keep the Faith is the name of the tune. If you have a request, you can send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I reserve the right to play any request on the show that I think fits the format. Okay, I do a 1950s show on Saturday night for 4 hours. If you have a 1950s request, you can send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I don't play 50s records on my Soul 60s show, which is Monday night. So there's a Saturday night show and a Monday night show. On my Monday night show, I will feature records from the early 60s with a soulful flavor. I'm not really going to play a doo-wop record. Very rarely I will play a doo-wop record. I'm not trying to be a bad guy here, but I get certain requests to play certain records. I'm not going to play a 1950s vocal group harmony record on my soul show. It's a different format. I don't like to mix and match the tunes like that. Saturday night is free reign for group harmony. Tonight, soul, girl groups, blue-eyed soul, a little bit of kind of, that good beat record that I like to play. So you know what I do on a Monday night. So I'm not trying to call out anybody, but I'm talking to one person that I don't want them to get upset about it. But please understand that. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go out to Los Angeles, California with this group that started in 1964, recorded for Lou Bedell's Dore record label. They are the Superbs. They had 22 releases on Dore Records between 1964 and, believe it or not, 1979. This is their 10th release, and many of their releases featured a female lead. Her name was Eleanor Green. Another lead singer for the group was Bobby Swain, and on this release, the lead singer is Lawrence Dickens. This is from October 1965. Let's give a listen to the Superbs on the Dore label. The song is called He Broke a Young Girl's Heart.
We find the defendant, he guilty as charged. Charge is the defendant guilty of. He broke this young girl's heart. He stole away her love.
You know that my friends, I've been accused. Yes, I have now. They say I broke this young girl's heart.
I'm going to send him away. Send him away. Send him away. Send him away. He's guilty as charged. I'm going to send him away. Send him away. Send him away. He broke this young girl's heart.
Before you pass judgment, there's something I must reveal. Let me tell you what happened and how I really feel.
I'm going to send him away. Send him away. Send him away. He broke this young girl's heart.
Hey, Mr. Jury, I'm in love with this angel. She's the girl that I want to marry. I just want to take her home and lay her head on my shoulder and count the tears that she shed. Please,
I'm going to send you, send you, send you, send you to life by her side. I'm going to send you, send you, send you, send you to life by her side.
With the powers vested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife.
Send you, send you to life by her side. Send you, send you, send you to life by her side.
October 65, they're called the Superbs. Lawrence Dickens on lead for that one. He broke a young girl's heart, that came out on the Dore record label. Some of their records go for lots of money. They do. Some of those 45's, they use, they reuse a lot of flip sides and whatnot, but that is a great group out of Los Angeles, California. Let's stay in LA for this gal by the name of Brenda Hall. I have no info on her, but this is the A-side of this kind of Phil Spector sounding wall of sound, kind of Shangri-La-ish, I think. But it's that's a Johnny G-ism there, Shangri-La-ish, if there is a word. But this, produced by Bucky Wilkin for Young Sounds, is under the supervision of Dick Glasser. Actually, this is the B-side of the 45. Messed that one up. But this is November 1965. Brenda Hall on Loma. It's called Oh Eddie, My Baby.
my baby, I still love you. Oh, Eddie, my baby. Oh, Eddie, my baby. Oh, Eddie, my baby. Oh, Eddie, my baby.
November 1965 release there for Brenda Hall. Brenda Hall on the Loma label. Oh, Eddie, My Baby is the name of that tune. And up next, one of my aunt's favorite tunes out of Detroit, Michigan. This group had 7 releases on the Boo record label. This was their third, co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Richard Knight. This was number 32 on the Billboard R&B chart, but a number 1 record on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. We go back to March 1968 for the Brothers of Soul. The Brothers of Soul on the Boo label. It's called I Guess That Don't Make Me a Loser.
Now, baby, even though you're gone, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, 'cause I was building castles in the sand. Then you came along, girl, and took my hand. 'Cause you loved and comforted me, and I just ain't no misery. Oh, baby, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, even though you're gone, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, 'cause you warm the pillow on my bed, so I could lay down my sleepy head. And in the prayer of your arms, darling, you protected me from all love's harm. Oh, baby, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, even though you're gone, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, even though you're gone, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, 'cause you've done everything you could to bring love into my life. And you've been holding me so tight, baby, and making everything alright. Oh, baby, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, even though you're gone, I guess that don't make me a loser. Now, baby, I guess I'm in all things. Now, baby, all things that you done for me. Oh, baby,
March 68 release there with the Brothers of Soul. That's on the Boo record label. I Guess That Don't Make Me a Loser. That is their third release on the Boo label. Of course, the flip side of this, the B-side, was a re-release of their first Boo single, Harry Don't Linger. Let's continue now as this next soul singer-songwriter from Detroit, Michigan was a member of the Peppermints in 1959, recorded for the Home of the Blues label. His real name, Roger Lee Creighton, but he recorded as Lee Rogers. He went solo in 19 1962, recording for Mike Hank's Ma's label. Then in 1964, he moved over to Hank's D-Town label and would have his biggest hit with his second release on the D-Town label. It was called I Want You to Have Everything. But let's give a listen to the follow-up. This is his third of 7 for the D-Town label. This charted number 21 on WVON out of Chicago, Illinois from February 1965. Lee Rogers on the D-Town label. It's called You're the Cream of the Crop. February 65 release there for Lee Rogers. Lee Rogers is third of 7 on the D-Town label, You're the Cream of the Crop. Here's a twin spin for Lee Rogers. After D-Town, he signed with Wheelsville for 4 releases, and this is his 4th release. I have a one-sided DJ copy. I think they all like the flip of this, which unfortunately I don't have, but this was a big record on WJLB out of Detroit, Michigan. From June 67, we move up 2 years for Lee Rogers on Wheelsville, and it's called Love for a Love.
Love for love, beautiful. Love for love,
baby. A love for love is beautiful.
Love is beautiful.
And a heart for a heart is wonderful.
Heart is wonderful.
To a child, puppy love is a whole lot of fun. When two people in love, it's got a
Honey, it's beautiful. A kiss for a kiss is a lady's charm. And a thrill for a thrill is a heart so warm. Ooh, being in love, true feelings it brings. Honey, love is a many splendid thing. Baby, a love for a love. Ooh, it's beautiful. Honey, it's beautiful. Some try to live without it, but baby, you can't do without it. It's a feeling deep down inside. It's a woman's possession and a man's pride. Ooh, yeah. It's beautiful. Love is beautiful. Baby, and a smile, oh, a smile is marvelous. Smile is marvelous. To a child, puppy love is a whole lot of fun. When two people in love, it's got a hold so strong. Baby, ooh, a love for a love. Ooh, it's beautiful. Honey, it's beautiful. Oh, a love for a love is beautiful. A love for a love is beautiful. A love for a love is beautiful. A love for a love.
That's a twin spin for Lee Rogers. I think he's sounding like Marvin Gaye on both those releases. This one from June 67. That's his fourth release on the Wheelsville record label. Love for a Love is the name of the tune. As we continue here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, this gal born in Newberry, South Carolina, but she spent most of her life in Linden, New Jersey. Her real name is Minnie Lee Curry, but she was known as Jackie, and she used Jackie Montreal as her singing name. First recorded as a member of the Parisians that recorded for the Maltese label back in 1967. No, then she went solo in 1967 with a release on the Ready label, which was then picked up by ABC. The release on Ready was called Doomed by Jealousy, which I played on the February 7th, 2022 show. But here's the B-side to her second of three on ABC, written and produced by Teddy Van from September 1968. This is Jackie Montreal. Jackie Montreal on ABC Records. It's called A Poet's Gesture.
This heart of mine plays like a rhapsody for you, for you, for you, oh, for you, for you.
September 68 release there for Jackie Montreal. Jackie Montreal, her second of three for the ABC folks. A Poet's Gesture is the name of that tune. Let's continue now. We go to Detroit, Michigan for this next singer. His real name is Gasper Baldamenti, a nice Italian boy, but he changed it to something easy like Mickey Denton, and he signed with Big Top Records back in 1961, put out 4 singles. But here's the B-side to one he did on the World Artist label out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This tune written by Duke Browner, produced by Harry Ball, from February 65. This is Mickey Denton. Mickey Denton on World Artists. It's called One More Time.
Now everybody do. Now everybody freeze. Into the door. Yeah, now knock it down to your knees. You can let go if you got soul. Now try it one more time. Try it one more time. Na 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 na. Try it one more time. Yeah, just one more time. Now diddy bitty. Up to the floor. Yeah, dance until your broken soul. And mashed potatoes up to my feet. Everybody swinging fine as I can see. Now try it one more time. Try it one more time. Na 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 na. Try it one more time. Yeah, just one more time. And mashed potatoes. Yeah. Try it one more time. Try it one more time. I try it one more time. Try it one more time. Try it one more time. Yeah, just one more time. I try it one more time. Try it one more time. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah
February 65 release there for Mickey Denton. Mickey Denton, World Artists record label. One More Time is the name of that tune. Now, he would have other releases: Amy Records, Impact Records. I think he had a couple on the Rare Earth label in 1970. And in 1982, he recorded as the New York Express. As we wind down here on the All 60s edition, we go back to Houston, Texas with this next singer. He was the childhood friend of singer Johnny Nash, who lived right across the street from him, but he spent the majority of his career singing backup to the likes of Big Mama Thornton and Esther Phillips and others, but he did get the chance to record a single. His name is Larry Williams, but on this 45, he's known as Larry O. Williams, maybe to differentiate himself from the Larry Williams that recorded for Specialty in the 50s. I don't know, but this is on the R. Hooley label out of Berkeley, California, a song he wrote. This is from 1968. Larry O. Williams on R. Hooley. It's called That's My Girl.
and just as quick, I'll go get a shotgun. It will catch you with another man, but that's alright. I said it's alright. That's alright. I know that's my girl. And whoa, when I get home in the evenings, my baby bakes me something to eat. It might have to be a few leftovers with cornbread, rice, and meat, but that's alright. Oh, that's alright. That's alright. I know that's my girl. Now did you hear me? That's my girl. I want you to know that's my girl. That's my girl. I'm talking about my girl. Ow! I'm screaming about my girl. Ow! Talking about my girl. Oh, that's my girl.
That's actually a blues label. Our Hooley Records is a blues label. That one there from '66. Larry O. Williams, That's My Girl, is the name of that tune. Let's continue now with this next artist. Started recording back in 1953 when he replaced Clyde McPhatter as the lead singer of the Dominoes, but he left the Dominoes for a solo career and had over 60 releases on the Brunswick label, and you know him as Mr. Excitement. Now here's one that charted for him, number 34 on Billboard, number 12 on the R&B chart, number 4 on WKFR in Battle Creek, Michigan. This tune co-written by Van McCoy, produced by Carl Davis. We go back to June 1968 for Mr. Jackie Wilson. Jackie Wilson on the Brunswick label. It's called I Get the Sweetest Feeling.
The closer you get, the better you look, baby. The better you look, the more I want you. When you turn on your smile, I feel
That's the sound of Jackie Wilson here on the All 60s edition. June 68 release on Brunswick Records. I Get the Sweetest Feeling. Yes, I do. Let's continue now for this next singer. She's out of Chicago, Illinois. First recording in 1965 for the local Sonar label. She had one other release, came out on Bill Shepard's BBS label, which would eventually become the Bunky label. Now, Bill Shepard, of course, best known for his discovery of the 1950s and early 60s group The Shepards, but he co-wrote this tune for this gal. Her name is Fran Oliver. Fran Oliver, it's from May 1968. On the BBS label, it's called You Won't Get Away.
Holding you this way, boy, is all that I need. Yeah, to capture your heart, a young lad, interject your speed. No, you won't get away from me, baby. You won't get away from me, from my love, from my love. You have been free, boy, up until this day. Oh, now you must find out what true love has to say. No, you won't get away from me, baby. Oh, you won't get away from me, my love, my love. All of this time I've been waiting, I ain't done nothing but man. So that I will know what to do the moment you have my hand. No, you won't get away from me now that you are here. Yeah, give me your heart, little boy, as you hold me so near. Yeah, no, you won't get away from me, baby. Oh, you won't get away from me, my love, my love. 'Cause I need you and I need you bad. Are you the sweetest little guy that I ever had? I want to, you know what to do. A 3, 4, we gotta walk and let the run now. A 5, 6, we gotta get it in. A 7, 8, we gotta walk and let it in. You won't get away from me.
Yes, her name is Fran Oliver. Fran Oliver from May 1968 on the BBS label. You Won't Get Away is the name of the tune as we are now in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Might be able to get all these in before the end of the hour, but we'll see unless I get some, unless they've been seeing some copyright issues, but they haven't been blacking out the picture there on the YouTube screen. But let's continue here. How about another hit 45? Featured a hit earlier in the show, I think when I opened up with Bob Kubin and the Inman with The Cheater. This is another hit, this great group out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, recorded for the Smash record label. This was their follow-up to their first release, Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie, their second of 8 on Smash, a tune written by Denny Randell and Sandy Linzer, produced by Jerry Ross and arranged by Jimmy the Whiz Wisner. It features Jay Proctor on lead. This was number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 10 on Cashbox, and a big number 1 record on WIBG. Out of Philadelphia, PA, we go back to October 1967 for Jay and the Techniques. On the Smash label, it's called Keep the Ball Rollin'.
help it too.
Venus, I can help it. Venus, I can help it too.
You like the fire in my heart, and every part of me is burning for you. You got to put your lips closer to mine. Girl, you gotta follow it through. Gotta follow it through. Keep the ball rolling, keep the ball rolling. Girl, the name of the game is love. On your mark, get set, let the kissing start, and just keep the ball rolling, baby, right into my heart. Half of a loaf isn't better than love when I'm starving for you.
When I'm starving for you.
Don't hold me tight if every night we stop at 2.
Don't stop, keep the ball rolling.
If you want me there when you call, then girl, it's all or nothing. Next time you do, you got to put your lips closer to mine. Girl, you gotta follow it through.
You got to follow it through.
Gotta follow it through.
You got to follow it through.
Come on in.
Keep the ball rolling, keep the ball rolling.
Girl, the name of the game is love. On your mark, get set, let the kissing start, and just keep the ball rolling, baby, right into my heart. Yeah, keep the ball rolling, keep the ball rolling. Girl, the name of the game is love. On your mark, get set, let the kissing start, and just keep the ball rolling, baby, right into my heart.
October 67 release there for Jay and the Techniques. Jay Proctor, the lead singer on that. That's the follow-up to Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie. Keep the ball rolling. We are keeping the ball rolling right here in overtime on the Smash record label. How about a twin spin with Jay and the Techniques? Now, this is the B-side to their 4th of 8 on the Smash label. The A-side, a favorite of my Aunt Mary, called Baby Make Your Own Sweet Music. But the flip side is a good one, too, produced by Jerry Ross and, again, arranged by Jimmy the Whiz Wisner. March 1968, Jay and the Techniques on the Smash label. It's called Help Yourself to All My Lovin'.
Sweeter than ice cream and candy.
Ice cream and candy.
When I'm in need, girl, you understand me. You bring me sunshine, my skies are gray. Each time you smile, I hear the music play. Girl, I'm in love and I just wanna say, help yourself to all of my loving. Help yourself. Dance when you walk, girl, like flame on a fire. You send me up, girl, higher and higher. I think of your kisses and I lose control. Loving like yours, I know I'll never go on. So come on, sweet baby, reach inside my soul. Help yourself to all of my loving. Help yourself to all of my loving. Help yourself to all of my loving. Now that you want my heart, yeah, yeah. Do, do, do. And I lose control. With loving like yours, I know I'll never go on. So come on, sweet baby, reach inside my soul. Help yourself to all of my love.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and a twin spin for Jay and the Techniques. Jay and the Techniques there, that's the B-side to Baby Make Your Own Sweet Music, Help Yourself, to All My Lovin', Jay Proctor on lead, March 1968 release. Let's continue here for this singer by the name of Rudy Stewart. Rudy Stewart, he would have a couple of releases after this in the 1980s, but this is 13 years earlier on the New York City Uptight record label, a tune written and produced by Johnny Towns. This one released in July of 1967. His name is Rudy Stewart on Uptight Records. It's called Baby You Goofed.
Oh, baby, you goof.
Baby, you good.
Oh, baby, you goof.
Baby, you good.
You could have been up there, sitting on top of the world. Oh, yeah. Why, tell me, why did you have to go and spoil it, girl? I brought you from the backwoods, you had never been in town. Oh, dressed you in fine clothes and I showed you around. I had a whole lot of good things in store for you, but you had to have your cake and eat it too. You goof.
Baby, you good.
Oh, baby, you goof.
Baby, you good.
And I got proof. Oh, yeah, baby, you goof. Mustang to take me for a ride. Instead of me, some other cat sat there by your side. I had enough of fooling, you ain't got no excuse. So bye-bye, baby, I got to cut you loose. You goof.
Baby, you good.
Oh, baby, you goof.
Baby, you good.
And I got proof. Oh, yeah, baby, you goof.
Baby, you good.
Oh, baby.
Baby, you good.
Oh, you done goof.
Baby, you good.
Baby.
Baby, you good. Baby, you good. Baby, you good.
There you go there. That is, whoops, that's Rudy Stewart there, July 1967 on the Uptight record label. Baby You Goofed is the name of the tune. I really got 4 more 45s to go here. I could probably get it in within the end of the hour here, and we'll be done by 11:30 here. For this next singer, he's from New Orleans, Louisiana, first recorded back in 1954 for Savoy Records as a member of the Blue Diamonds. You'll hear that on my 50s show. But his name was Ernest Cador Jr., and in 1955 he went solo, recording for Specialty Records, probably best known for his 1961 hit called Mother-in-Law. I'm sure many of you know that tune, but he had releases on many different labels: Ember, Instant, Minute, Sansu, Janice, and Don Roby's Duke record label. This is actually his 5th of 10 on the Duke label. This one released in January of 67. Let's give a listen to Ernie K. Doe. Ernie K. Doe on the Duke label with Dancin' Man.
Come on, everybody, get in the groove. Pat your feet and watch me move. Come on, everybody, slide out on the floor. Turn down the lights. Oh yeah, gonna lock all the doors. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I'm a dancing man. I'm a dancing man. Come on, everybody, hand to hand. Kick off your shoes while I warm up my little rocking band.
clock on the wall. 'Cause tonight, yeah, baby, oh, we gonna have a ball. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. 'Cause I'm a dancing man. All right, I'm a dancing man. You do the Billy and the slop. Now look here, spin around, baby, and do my little eagle rock. Come on, baby, and catch that pony. We gonna ride him too. We gonna shake a tail feather. Oh, look at here, good. Before we are through, yeah. But I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. 'Cause I'm a dancing man. I told you, baby, I'm a dancing man. Can you do the fly? Do the Billy? But look at here. Do my eagle rock. Do my eagle rock. Do my eagle rock. The eagle rock.
That's Ernie K. Doe. Ernie K. Doe is 5th of 10 on Don Roby's Duke record label from January 67, Dancin' Man. 2 more 45s to go. Johnny G gonna sign off here. This gal is from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And is it Poplar Bluff or Poplar Bluffs? I don't know. She's more country pop, but she had a few songs that crossed over, like this one, which is her debut single, actually her first of 2 on the RCA subsidiary Groove record label. This tune written by Wayne Thompson, who would later write the hits like The Letter and Soul Deep for the Box Tops, plus other hits, as he wrote this tune for Miss Della Ray. Della Ray from November 64 on the Groove record label. It's called Happy Day.
Gonna dance and shout. Gonna sing my song. Everything's alright. There ain't nothing wrong. I'm not alone. Oh, my baby came home. Happy day. Happy day. To stay. Happy day. Happy day. Well, I feel so good. I've no more pain. I can hold it tight. Never cry again. I'm not alone. Well, my baby came home. Happy day. Happy day. To stay. Happy day. Happy day. Happy day. This is the day I've waited for. Everything's fine. This is the boy I've waited for. He's gonna be mine. Well, all the clouds are gone, and the sky is blue. Every tear has dried. Every dream came true. I'm not alone. Oh, my baby came home. Happy day. Back to stay. Happy day. Oh, yeah. My baby's back to stay. Happy day.
November 1964 release there for Della Ray. Della Ray on the Groove record label, song entitled Happy Day. She would have 5 more releases on the parent label, RCA Records. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to all these cool 1960s 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you have the requests, send them to me. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to find these 1960s 45s, but if I have it, I'll spin the 45 if it fits the format for Monday night's show. If it doesn't, well, it's too bad. You're not going to hear it. But thank you all for tuning in. If you missed any of the show, it should be up momentarily on YouTube. You can also go to my website, vinyltreasures.net, if you'd like to download the show or stream it live. There's no video on that, but I had that website. I gotta fix it up here. But I don't have time for that. Not yet. We will get to it. Johnny G's catching up. Retirement, I'm catching up. 30 years, I gotta catch up. It's taken me a while here, but I will get there eventually. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Charlene, again for your help today with the show. And we're going to close the show tonight, the Monday night show. We're going to close it with an interesting closer. It's by a B-side by this artist from South Wales. He recorded the majority of his tunes on the London subsidiary Parrot record label, and this is actually a B-side for Mr. Tom Jones. The A-side was called Funny, Familiar, Forgotten Things, which I'm not really crazy about, but I do like the B-side of this 45 a lot, as this side did chart regionally. This was a number 30 record on KRUX in Phoenix, Arizona. Our closer tonight is from April 1967 on the Parrot label. It's by Tom Jones. It's called I'll Never Let You Go. That's going to do it for tonight, folks. I'll be back next Monday night at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Oldies and More Radio. If not, you'll see me live on YouTube, also at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you like the 1950s, join me on Saturday nights right here on YouTube beginning at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight, right here on YouTube. We join Oldies and More in the overtime beginning at midnight, but I'm live on the video then. I think 8% of my listeners watch me on their iTVs. The majority of the listeners are on their PCs. I think that's about 46% or 45%. Then I get a large amount of you that watch me on your phones. I think 42%. And then the rest I think are on tablets and other things. I don't know what the other things could be, but anyway. Well, anyway, folks, Johnny G's gotta go. That's gonna do it, folks. I will see you next Monday night. If not, I'll see you Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
I'll give you pretty things to prove that I love you so. But all I ever want to do when I'm close to you is something you've gotta know. Oh, baby, baby, one thing's certain, I'll never let you go. I'll buy you diamond rings, I'll give you pretty things to prove that my love is real. But all I ever want to do when I'm close to you is show you the way I feel. Oh, baby, baby, one thing's certain, I'll never let you go. Understand me now when I tell you that a gift cannot compare with the love of man or the touch of his hand as he runs it through your hair. Yes, I'll buy you diamond rings, I'll give you pretty things to prove that I love you so. ever want to do when I'm close to you is something you gotta know. Oh, baby, baby, one thing's certain, I'll never let you go. Understand me now when I tell you that a gift cannot compare with the love of a man or the touch of his hand as he runs it through your hair. I'll buy you diamond rings, I'll give you pretty things to prove that my love is real. But all I ever want to do when I'm close to you is show you the way I feel. Oh, baby, baby, one thing's certain, I never